Hey, what's up everybody? Welcome back to the Holy Smokes Barbecue channel. Today is a very special day, not only because the sun is out, but also because today is the first cook on my brand new Pit Boss Platinum Series Lockhart. This thing is an absolute beast. It's got an upper smoking chamber as well as a grilling surface. And today, what better way to break it in, I thought, than to do Memphis-style baby back ribs. And also, we're gonna put on, about halfway through the cook, I'm gonna put some cut up rustic potatoes in my upper smoking chamber. And it's all gonna be done right around the same time. And let me tell you, it's going to be delicious. So with that, let's dive in. So the thing that really makes a Memphis style rib is the dry rub. And I've got so many great dry rubs inside. I've got some great stuff from Pit Boss, but also some other folks. But actually today, for this special first cook on the Lockhart, I thought, why not make my very own dry rub for these baby back ribs? So I'm gonna show you how to do that right now. The first thing I'm gonna do is I have about 1.5 cups of pure cane sugar. I'm gonna add that here. All right, next, I'm gonna do about 1/3 cup of paprika. Okay, so just throw that in. Regular paprika there. Next, I've got about 1/4 cup of chili powder. Add that in. Okay, next I'm gonna take 1/3 cup of just regular kosher salt. Nothing special about this, just regular kosher salt. And now I have kind of a blend here. This is a mix of about a teaspoon of pepper, teaspoon of ground cumin, about two teaspoons of dry mustard, some granulated garlic, and some onion powder. So I'm just gonna mix that in there as well. All right, now we'll just mix this up. This is gonna make such a beautiful color on our ribs. All right, and there you have it. There's our dry rub. So now let's go get our ribs. All right, so I have my ribs and I have my rub. I've already taken the skin off of the bottom of these ribs. That's something that you don't actually have to do it. I've cooked ribs a lot of times before by leaving that on. It is gonna make them more tender. It's gonna allow them to absorb more of that flavor if you take it off. So I've already taken that off. So what I'm gonna do now is go ahead and just season this. I'm gonna season this using that dry rub that I made. And I'm just gonna go right on. And you wanna, don't be afraid of how much seasoning you put on this. This is gonna be great. Season this side. I like to use the one glove method. One glove for the dry ingredients, and one rub to actually pat the meat here. Kind of get it in there. Go ahead and flip these over. Put some more on there. Again, we're going big today with our seasoning. The smell of this rub is just next level already. Just gonna really try and get that in there, kind of massage it a little bit. Make sure we get the edges. This is the area where people don't really season well a lot of times. Get those edges, get those ends. When these ribs start to pull back a little bit and these bones start to get exposed a little, you really want to make sure that this area between the bones is nice and seasoned. Just a little more seasoning, why not, right? We're gonna come back and use this again in a little while, after these ribs have had a chance to cook for a little while. I wanna make sure I'm getting the ends too. Put the ends there. All right, so the seasoning is now on my ribs. I got that beautiful dry rub on there. It's kind of soaking in right now. You'll notice I have a lot of it still left. That's because we're gonna come back to this in a couple hours. We're gonna wrap them up and we're gonna do some more of that as well as a couple of different ingredients as well to really give those ribs the flavor we're looking for. Now you could ask 10 different people how to cook ribs, temperature, time, and you'll get 10 different answers. A really popular one is the 3-2-1 method. So that's 3 on, 2 wrapped, and then 1 back on as far as the hours go. But today what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna do 2 hours on the Pit Boss at 250 degrees. And then I'm gonna take them off. We're gonna wrap them with some other things and I'm gonna put them on and just leave them wrapped on the smoker until they're completely done. and we'll go from there. So, so that's how we're gonna do it. So right now it's time to get these beautiful baby back ribs onto my Lockhart. All right, here we go. So we're sitting at a nice 250 degrees right now. Let's get these ribs right on the rack. Oh man, they smell great. All right. All right, so those are gonna be on the Lockhart for about 2 hours, and then I'm gonna come back out, we'll do some other stuff with them. We're also gonna put on our rustic potatoes. We're gonna put those in the upper smoking cabinet at that point. Now, a quick word here. It is cold. Again, it's about 30 degrees outside. In my last video, I learned some different tips and tricks about how to keep that temperature inside the grill nice and steady. And so today, since I'm using the Lockhart for the first time, I've made sure that there's really no way that that heat is gonna escape as best as I could, right? So I've got the smokestacks on the top all the way closed. There's a couple of different levers that allow different temperatures to happen in both chambers, and so I've got all of that locked down as much as I can. But we'll be back in a couple of hours to check on these and put our potatoes on. All right, it's been about an hour that my ribs have been on the Lockhart, and right now what I'm actually going to do is go ahead and blanch my potatoes so that they cook a little bit better and a little bit more evenly in the upper smoking chamber. And I'm also going to put them in a little foil pouch with a couple of extra ingredients, just for that extra level of flavor and deliciousness. All right, so right now I have here in this pot, I have a mixture of about 1-inch cuts of some baby red potatoes and just some Yukon Gold potatoes. These are literally potatoes that we just had laying around from when we cooked meals this past week. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna let these come up to a boil, and I'm gonna let them boil for about 3 minutes, no more than that, just to kind of get them prepared for what's about to happen on the smoker. Then I'm gonna drain them, and we're gonna build our foil pouch. All right, my potatoes have come up to a boil. I'm gonna leave them there, let them boil for about 3 minutes, then I'm gonna take them off, gonna drain them, and then we'll bring them back out to build our foil pouches. All right, so my potatoes have been blanched and they've been drained, and so now I'm gonna go ahead and build my pouch here. So I've got 2 pieces of aluminum foil that are down here, and I'm just gonna dump these potatoes right onto my foil, just like that. All right, next thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna hit these up with some salt. Okay, I'm gonna be pretty generous with my salt here. Okay, next, I have about half a stick of butter here. I'm just going to sort of place that general spot throughout the potatoes. Okay, gonna hit it up with a little bit of olive oil. Okay, and then finally, my secret potato weapon is gonna be this Kinder's wood-fired garlic. You might remember we used this on our Low Country shrimp and grits. This stuff is absolutely incredible. I'm just gonna hit these potatoes. All right, now we're gonna wrap this up, okay? The goal is to create a nice, tight, packed cooking pouch for these potatoes. All right, so the temperature in my upper smoking cabinet is gonna be about 100 degrees less than inside the actual grilling surface. So since the ribs are going about 250, the upper cabinet's gonna be about 150. So I'm gonna put these on now and let it go for the remainder of the cook. So when we remove the ribs at the very end, we're gonna bring the potatoes off too. So now I'm gonna go ahead and put this potato pouch inside of my smoking cabinet. So it's been right at about 2 hours since I first put my ribs on my Pit Boss Lockhart, and now it's time to take them off. I'm gonna wrap them up, and I'm gonna add some additional things that are really gonna add some flavor and really make those ribs just as delicious as we can get them. So let's go ahead and get them off the Lockhart. All right, man, these look and smell absolutely incredible. So I'm gonna go ahead and start to add a few things here as I wrap up these ribs. First, I'm gonna take some brown sugar, and I'm just going to put that brown sugar right down here on my aluminum foil. And you can put however much you want here. It doesn't have to be a ton. I just like a lot, so I'm gonna go ahead and put it down. And then I'm gonna add to that some of my seasoning that I had here from my dry rub that I made. Now to that, I'm going to add just some honey. Some honey is really going to bring some sweetness to these ribs, as if they weren't already sweet enough, but that's just going to be great. I'm going to flip these over and do the same thing on the other side. Oh man, this is going to taste so amazing when they're done. Got brown sugar on there. Some of that honey. Some of that dry rub seasoning that we used. All right, so it's time to wrap these ribs up. I'm gonna go ahead and just fold the foil right here just so that it's over the edge of the bone. I'm gonna take these sides, I'm gonna fold them up here. Now just before I wrap this, I'm gonna add one more ingredient, which is just apple juice. So I'm gonna go ahead and pour some apple juice just right here into my, my wrapped ribs. I'm gonna fold this over just so that it reaches the edge of the ribs, and I'm gonna hold it back just so we don't have a bunch of excess foil hanging over that edge of the rib. All right, and now these are gonna go back onto the grill for another 2 hours. All right, it's been another 2 hours and the sun is setting, so is the time on my ribs and potatoes, and so I'm gonna go ahead and pull these off. We're gonna unwrap them and we're gonna dig in. All right, I can tell by how these feel that they're just like falling apart. All right, let's get these opened up. Whew, look at that. See, all of that sugar has just caramelized. Oh man. All right, here they are, and man, do they look and smell amazing. I'm gonna go ahead and open up my potatoes here, which have been smoking for a really long time. Oh man, look at that. Woo! Man, they smell amazing too. All right, let's go ahead and dig in. All right, I have a knife, but I really don't think that I even need it. I'm just gonna go ahead and slice right down. Oh, look at that. Wow, amazing. Just gonna grab some of this meat here and just give it a taste. Oh man. Holy smokes. Said it again. I'm gonna keep doing it. It's the name of my channel. And it's so good. Oh man. Oh. I mean, it's so tender, it's just falling right apart. Let me grab one of these potatoes. That butter, that rub, so good. Well, hey, this has been a phenomenal way to kick off the use of the new Pit Boss Platinum Lockhart with these incredible Memphis-style baby back ribs and these incredible potatoes. If you like this video, go ahead and give us a thumbs up. Make sure you subscribe to the channel so you get brand new content coming pretty regularly. And check out one of these other videos of stuff that we've made recently. And we'll see you back here next time.